Hey, this is James Forbes with ConradBI. I'm glad that you're here. Today we're going to talk about maybe one of the most important decisions you're going to make in your BI journey. If you're just starting out, it very well may be the most important decision you're making. All right, let's let the data speak. Okay, so I said that we're going to talk about one of the most important decisions you're going to make in your BI journey. Okay, so what is that decision? That decision is, how are you going to start building your team? Who are you going to select first? What is the order? What skill sets do you need? What type of people do you need? Jacob wrote a blog this last week. It was really good. It was super informational. You can find the link below. It described the different roles that you need in a BI program. Those roles are designed to support the three fundamental functions in a BI program, okay? Acquisitioning the data, getting an essential repository, modeling the data so it can be easily consumed, and visualizing the data so you can actually gain insight from the data. So you have these roles that you're going to eventually need to fill, but how do you get started? What's the first person you're going to bring onto your BI program? Hey, I'm going to say the very first person you need to bring on, I want to set aside technical skills. I don't want to talk about technical skills at all. In fact, throw them away. Yes, we want somebody technically adept, but that is not the most important part of who you're looking for. Okay, you are looking for a visionary. You're looking for an entrepreneur. You're looking for somebody that's coming without their own agenda. You're looking for somebody who wants to make the business better. You're looking for somebody that gets excited about data. You want somebody that's going to scrub through the data. They're going to look for patterns, and they get super excited when they find something and say, Eureka, you know what? I can help the business with this insight. This person is going to be the one person that's going to introduce BI to your organization. It is important that they can communicate with the business units. It is important that they have business speak, that they can communicate in their language, that they can extract, that they can reassure, hey, we're not here to take your job. What we're here to do is accelerate your job. We're here to help you find insights that maybe you can't see based off the knowledge and experience that you have. So it is so crucial that the very first person you get, they have that mindset. They need to have the mindset that they want to make the BI program a success. They want to make the business a success. That is what they're passionate about. They'll go in a meeting and they'll get excited. They're like, this is freaking cool that I can find this in the data. And that's going to be contagious. Everybody in there is going to get excited about it. And then all of a sudden, you're going to have people that are evangelists for your BI program. You've got to get somebody with a positive insight that looks at the good, that glass half full type person that sits there and says, this is awesome. I can give you so much value if we just capture the data and we model it and we show it to you. Okay, so we've talked about the type of person, the heart of the person that you're wanting to start with. Okay, but what technical skills do they need? Yes, we need somebody that's technically adept and they can learn. But what kind of skills do they need? Before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about the first project that you're going to start with. I suggest that you find somebody in your organization, a business sponsor that's really excited about their job, somebody that wants to improve their job, that is excited about the idea of bringing BI in to help them. Okay, they exist, I promise. You find that person and you make sure you go and you talk with them. That's why you need those soft skills. And your goal is to find some sort of insight they're looking for. They have some data and they're like, I wish I could tell this from my data. And I want to say, when you select that project, don't take a project that has massive amounts of data. One of my first BI projects required supporting billions and billions of rows. It was hard to do. We got it done, but it was painful. Don't start there. Start with a smaller subset of data that you can gain insight. Even if it's a little insight, that'll be great for your first project. I'm going to suggest that you start with the data lake approach. And what do I mean by that? You're going to use a BI tool. You're going to acquisition the data directly in that tool. You're going to model the data directly in that tool. And you're going to visualize the data directly in that tool. And you're going to produce interactive reports to communicate the descriptive nature of the process of the business sponsor you're trying to help. And you're going to let them be able to slice and dice, to aggregate the data by all different types of attributes so that they can see that there's value in their data, and they're going to get excited about seeing their data, and they're going to be able to look and find things just from the descriptive side. You're going to get to the diagnostic, you're going to get to predictive, you're going to get to the prescriptive, but you've got to have a bigger team in order to get that far. But you got to start somewhere. So you want somebody that's technically adept enough to be able to acquisition data, and then you want somebody that can go read about the basics of facts and dimensions. Okay, we're not going to get all in all the different dimension types, and I'm going to tell you, you're going to end up using them all. I remember when I started, I read over the descriptions of the dimension types and like, we're never going to use all these. And then years later, I look back and I'm like, we have used every single one of these. You will eventually use those as you advance your program. But to beginning, you just want somebody that can do the basics, somebody that can put measures in fact tables and attributes and dimensions and be able to slice and dice the data. You want to find somebody that's technically adept to be able to use a tool like Power BI or Tableau at the most basic sense. They're bringing data in, they're maybe massaging it a little bit, they're modeling the data based off just some basic modeling techniques, and then they are producing an interactive report. Their deliverable to the business user is an interactive report that person can do basic descriptive analysis on, okay? Maybe a little diagnostic, but that's it. That's what you're going for at first. Okay, so if you have an existing team, I want to give you a little tidbit that hopefully will maybe help you be more efficient. A lot of organizations silo off the different roles. They have people doing acquisitions, they have people doing modeling, and they have people doing visualization. Okay, and it makes sense on the acquisition side. A lot of the people that are doing the acquisitioning, they're really good at acquisitioning data. They're not people. They're heads down, they get the data in, and they keep it fresh, and that's awesome. Keep those people separate. Let them do their job. Let them keep the data there. A lot of times, organizations will have the people acquisitioning the data model the data. Don't do that. Unless they are very fluent in concepts from Kimball, very fluent concepts from Inman. If they're modeling the data from a typical DBA perspective, you're killing your BI program. You want to model it in a different way, and there's an art form to doing that. But I am going to suggest that you tear down the silo between modeling and visualization. Some of my greatest insights have come because I modeled data. Okay, there is great value in modeling the data, understanding the data when you're producing the visuals. Just like when you're starting, you want to find somebody that is really good at business. You can accomplish that same thing with an existing team by tearing down that barrier between modeling and visualizations. So empower your people. If they're visualizers, teach them how to model. If they're modelers, teach them how to visualize. Encourage them to learn business speak. Encourage them to talk in that arena, to get out there and meet with the business user. Let them model the descriptive nature of the business to share with them so that then they can come back and visualize insights, okay? That's why you want to tear that down. You want people that are modeling the data and visualizing the data. There are some advanced techniques in modeling. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about creating an experience where BI is used to its maximum potential. All right, so that's what I have to share today. I hope that it was of value to you, whether you're starting out and you're trying to identify who your first team member is going to be, or you've got an existing program and maybe that little tidbit at the end helps you become a little more efficient. I'm excited to be able to talk with you, and I just really appreciate the time you gave. Here at ConradBI, we're putting together a getting started document just so you know of how to introduce BI into your organization, how to start a BI program. Please subscribe below so you can stay in the know on that. Pop out the link in and follow us over there. If you have any comments or anything you want to ask, you want us to talk about, put it in the comments below. Thank you for the time. I love data. I love helping you with your data. Let the data speak.